Okay, live again. Right at the moment, it looks clear. I would have no idea how it happened, though. Sorry, still testing the camera, trying to make this thing stay in focus while I'm painting, but it doesn't like to stay there. It seems to start out, like right now, it's really good. But I have no idea what I would have done to have. Now it's going to go out of focus, I bet, because I put my head in the way. Well, it seems to be okay there. I have to redo this because my cheese grater, because last night, I drew this yesterday afternoon in my previous video, and then last night I was making dinner and I made some kind of fresh tomato sauce for pasta. And anyway, I grabbed the grater, not even thinking that I didn't want to look at it, and then I was really influenced by what I saw. And remember, if you watched yesterday, I started out where I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I changed 5 and then 4, and I changed to be 6 and 5. When actually it's they're quite big, and they're only 4, and then there's 3. I didn't look to see if there was a name on there. Actually, there's a name on the other one, which has a separate component like this, but it goes sideways and it's kind of in the middle. And then there is a section like this, but it's those tiny little grater, grater kind of little things, that bumps that protrude up, that like if you want to do it for like a lemon zest or something like that. So it was completely off, in some respects, except for the way I made the holes, which was, those were pretty good. Those were pretty spot on, and then I had the little, and I would have made this so that would have been sticking out. But that being the case, that's wrong. Oh, shoot. I put a glove on and now I can't grab the corner of the, I got this one. I just basically use the gloves because I don't want to get my fingerprints all over the aluminum. And like I said yesterday, it probably doesn't really matter. But it bothered me when I started drawing it. And in a couple spots, when I drew on it, the charcoal did not stick to those spots. So, because being as I'm using an oil paint, and my fingerprints are probably oily, that's why I can take fingerprint liftings. It would be just fine. That's the drawing part. So yesterday I talked about this is always so crooked. Everything's crooked. I talked about doing batteries. And what else was there on the list? Batteries, a shuttle. I don't know what one of those are. A saw. Could do a saw. It would be kind of challenging just because of the teeth. Get rid of the cheese grater now. Okay. Garden spade. I could do one of those ones like, like the small, kind of more trowel type. I don't know if I don't think I have a garlic press too. I used to have one, but I didn't really like it. So I think I gave that into the donation box. Let's do the kind of the garden trowel, like, the small one you would do for flower gardening stuff. Probably a little bit more rounded. Now today it seems to be working fine. Let's see if I can move the up just a little bit and stay in focus. Now let's see. So there's a little bit here, kind of a bump because the handle part goes underneath there where it's kind of welded or soldered on. So there's kind of a dipping action here. It's not too pointy on these sides here. Now if I want to say there's like a little bit of a curve there, or maybe it's a slight curve here, because I'm going to say this kind of goes up and down. I'm not really sure if that's the way I want to draw it, but and then we have the handle. But I'll just do this straight, because if I do this, that means that I'm looking at it at a slightly different angle, and so this side would end up being shorter, and this side being a little bit, or shorter this way, the width, and this would be a little bit longer because you'd have that perspective of kind of almost like a foreshortening. So instead I would go like this, just straight. And then mine has got like a odd blue foam covering that's got these like dips. I suppose for the grip. I don't know how many though. Oh, there went it for just a second. Well, of course, I'm not watching the whole time. But now it's out of there. Now it's in focus. Oh, why does it do that? All right. I feel like my bottom is too big compared to the handle proportion-wise. So I think I'll end up readjusting that a little bit. I think this time I'm going to do a dark background. Okay, so it's, if I go in, what it wants to do is it wants to focus on my hand. And it hit the autofocus again. It keeps going back to the autofocus. Not sure why. So now it's out of, seems to be a little bit in focus, sort of, but it keeps bouncing around. I think I'll send my video to Rossbach. Kind of see if they can't help me troubleshoot what I need. More than I was expecting to do for this grant. Oh, I should show you guys some things here. I may end up keeping this video. I have some samples for frame samples for now when I wanted to focus on my hand, it's not. I'll put it on autofocus just for this. Okay, so they're floater frame samples, and I got quite a few different colors. I don't want to get any stuff on them if I can help, but it's kind of a, well, it's, of course it's not going to do anything I want it to do now. Yeah. Bloody heck. Anyway, so I got a natural, wow, natural one, but no. I'll just keep painting. So if I'm talking to Rossbach, my problem is I want it to stay a fixed focus on this. And just see if I can't, what happens if I back it up. Let's see if that changes anything. No, I just can't get it into. Had it for a second. But will it stay there? This is too big, maybe. Or maybe I gotta put the. I think it's too big. Nope, it cannot be. And we're out again. So right now, spot, I'm in a medium, and it goes out because of the motion. Probably don't want that. If I could just keep my brush out of it, right? Because that's what it's doing is I think it's just, and even though the autofocus is off, and that's, maybe that's the whole, no, see, it went back to autofocus. Why does it keep doing that? There must be a way. There has to be a way to just keep it fixed focus, no matter what happens. Hotspot, can you hear me? Okay. Try and move this again. Oops. Let me try a time lapse when I do the color and upload that to this. But how do I do that? Looks a little wide. Maybe what I need to do is proportion. I feel, well, maybe it's actually higher up because it's pretty short between when you're holding it. Yeah, maybe it is higher up. Or do I just make the handle start here? I think that makes more sense. It'd still be a little too long. Probably something's not, maybe, or does this go down like this? Guess where it went up and over there. Maybe I just need to trim. Okay. Well, maybe the doesn't look too bad, but maybe this is too high here now. See if I take a little bit of that out. Better. Oops. Okay. All right, I think we will, all right, I'll deal with it. I have some spots that are not filled in with paint, and I'd like to do that instead of having completely bare aluminum there. Oh, that's probably fine. All right. You could just leave it here for the moment, because my shoulders get a little sore. But I'd like to get a little bit more volume and form going here. Just seeing if it'll come back. It's so disappointing. Yeah. All right. Well, what causes that? I mean, you can obviously see that nice close-up, and it's not great, but it was better there for a second. And now it's in focus in this area, but not over here. All right, well, end it for today.